Hi everybody, it's Kevin. Hope you're enjoying this new format that we're working on tonight. Bear with us, we're going to have a little few bugs here and there worked out as we go along. So tonight you'll see in the bottom right-hand corner, or pardon me, left-hand corner of your screen that we're going to have our rolling Twitter feed. So as the candidates, please tweet in to tonight's event using that hashtag that Kathy mentioned, and we will see our tweets scroll through the system as we go. So. On behalf of Life Saving Society, thanks for taking an interest in the National Lifeguard Instructor Program. The National Lifeguard Service Award is more than 50 years old and has been the standard in lifeguarding in Canada throughout that time period. The Manitoba branch has worked hard over the years to develop a quality program, and we thought this year we would try to integrate these new technologies and systems to see how everything works for us. So bear with us, and we're going to go through the system, and hopefully tonight will be a positive experience for everybody involved. So without further ado, we'll move on to the next segment. So bear with us 1 second.
All right, so that might be really loud, so I'm going to talk less loud. This is John Sorokowski. I'm hiding behind the scenes tonight, and we just wanted to show you the course page so that you are familiar with where to find everything. Hopefully you received Kathy's email that outlines exactly what you need to know from this page, but we'll take a moment just to go through it. So we have our logistics listed down here. As you know, the assignments are listed. And then the most important part for right now is this information where it says Assignment 1, Pre-Course Learning. I'm going to be talking for the next little bit about some topics that are important for your pre-course learning, and there are some takeaway questions here that you need to answer before the first class. So as I go through the presentations that I'm going to go through over the next little bit, please make sure that you are taking notes or thinking about how you will answer these questions. Again, if there are any issues, you can tweet out to us at LifesavingMB, and you can use the hashtag LSNLI15 just in case there are any questions that come up or issues that you are having with the stream. So, without further ado, we are going to look at what to expect and what you'll learn from this course. So as you know, you're taking the National Lifeguard and Aquatic Emergency Care Instructor course. We'll start by reviewing the prerequisites for the course. These are listed here on the screen, and you're familiar with them already from when you signed up for the course. So, following the successful completion of this course, you'll be able to teach your own National Lifeguard and Aquatic Emergency Care courses. You'll notice the prerequisites are to have National Lifeguard Pool, Aquatic Emergency Care, Life Saving and First Aid Instructor, and teaching experience of 2 bronze courses. That gets you access to the NLI course, which you are now in. To examine a National Lifeguard Pool course, however, whether it's an original course or a recert, you also need to do a co-exam with a current National Lifeguard Pool examiner. Following that co-exam, if you receive a positive recommendation from the examiner, you'll be appointed as a National Lifeguard Pool Examiner. As you're likely aware, there are 4 program streams for National Lifeguard: pool, waterfront, water park, and surf. If you're interested in teaching and examining the other streams other than pool, you'll need to take an apprenticeship in those other streams with an experienced instructor and examiner, and the process is pretty much the same. Let's look at the levels you'll be able to teach following the successful completion of this course. You will be able to teach National Lifeguard Pool, and as we just mentioned, you'll be able to examine it once you've successfully completed your co-exam. If you're interested in other streams, as we just said, you can do an apprenticeship in those streams once you are an examiner. You'll also be able to teach the Society's more advanced first aid awards. We're expecting you're bringing some additional knowledge to the table, which is why we've combined our 3 more advanced first aid awards into this course. As you know, aquatic emergency care is like standard first aid with a few extras. It is the Life Saving Society's recommended first aid award for aquatic professionals. CPR for healthcare providers, or HCP, teaches some additional skills to people who require more advanced training, like paramedics and nurses. Oxygen administration teaches candidates how to deliver oxygen. Surprise, surprise. You may be wondering exactly what we do during the course. One aspect is to look at the learner characteristics of National Lifeguard and aquatic emergency care candidates, because they're a little bit different than the candidates you're used to dealing with so far. We'll also look at how to plan and manage these courses, because they're much longer and there's a lot of content to cover. We'll show you how to structure your time so candidates have maximum practice time. We'll also introduce new presentation, facilitation, and mentoring techniques for you to add to your instructor toolkit. And finally, there's a bit of a professional development opportunity for you. You'll learn how to teach and evaluate lifeguarding and advanced first aid skills, and we'll also do some additional teaching to make sure that you know how to teach everything you're able to teach and evaluate. The course is a lot of fun because you get to learn how to do many, many new things. Like any instructor course, the course is evaluated by an instructor trainer. Your staff on this course include Christopher Love, Kathy Plett, Kevin Tordiff, and Renee Barnaby. There may also be special guests. You'll have to wait and see. As part of this course, like any Life Saving Society course, you will do peer teaches. You'll self-evaluate, you'll receive evaluation from your peers, and then you'll receive evaluation from the trainers in the course. This probably sounds quite familiar because it's how your LSI course was taught, and it's the format we use in all leadership levels. If you're curious about the evaluation criteria, you can find that on the course page in the toolkit. We recommend you review it ahead of time so you know what you're getting yourself into. That's an overview of what to expect during the course. We'll take just a moment now to pause in case you have any questions. Again, you can tweet them to us at LifesavingMB using the hashtag LSNLI15. We'll be back in about a minute with some exciting information about the Life Saving Society's new vision, mission, and values. Welcome back. We're still doing some testing behind the scenes here, so hopefully everything's going well, and we thank you for tuning in. Something for you to know is that this video will be available afterwards, so if you miss something or I completely flub up and you have no idea what I was saying, you get to watch it later. Or, if you just like hearing Kathy and Kevin talk, you can replay it all you'd like. I guess that goes for me too. The next section looks at the Royal Life Saving Society Canada. We're going to talk about the Society's updated mission, vision, and values. You'll also think about how to apply the Society's values to your work as a Life Saving Society volunteer. Pay close attention because there are pre-course learning assignment questions that go directly with some of the information here in this presentation. The Life Saving Society is a full-service provider of programs, products, and services designed to prevent drowning. We save lives and prevent water-related injury through our training programs, water-smart public education, drowning prevention research, aquatic safety management, and life-saving sport. The Society is a leader and partner in the delivery of water safety education in Canada and around the world. We represent Canada in the Commonwealth Royal Life Saving Society and are Canada's full member in the International Life Saving Federation. The World Health Organization recognizes the ILS as the world authority in the global effort to prevent drowning. The Life Saving Society takes lead responsibility for drowning prevention in Canada and brings Canadians the best the world has to offer in lifeguarding, life-saving, and first aid techniques. We have been teaching swimming, water safety, and water rescue in Canada since 1896. Established in England as the Swimmers Life Saving Society, we became the Royal Life Saving Society in 1904. We are incorporated under Royal Charter. Her Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II, is our Society's Commonwealth patron. Our Bronze Cross program was introduced in 1945, and the National Lifeguard Service was launched in 1964. Here's more information about where we focus our work, which will be a good review for you coming in as a more advanced leadership volunteer. The Society teaches Canadians to save themselves and rescue others. Over 1 million Canadians participate every year in our programs. Each year, we certify thousands of instructors who provide leadership for our training programs like you. In fact, over 30,000 Canadians earn our bronze medallion each year. As Canada's lifeguarding experts, we set the standard for lifeguard training and certify all of Canada's national lifeguards. The Life Saving Society focuses water-smart drowning prevention efforts on people most at risk or those who can make a significant difference, such as parents of young children. We deliver water-smart messages through our Swim for Life program, through the media, and through community action. Our Swim to Survive program provides the essential minimum skills required to survive an unexpected fall into deep water. The Life Saving Society conducts research into fatal and non-fatal drowning, aquatic injury, and rescue interventions. Ongoing research and analysis supports the Society's evidence-based water rescue training and water-smart drowning prevention education. You can find copies of these drowning reports on the Life Saving Society's website. The Society establishes aquatic safety standards and consults on aquatic safety issues for the aquatic industry, governments, and the judiciary. The Society offers a suite of services to help aquatic facility operators maintain and improve safe pool and waterfront operations. We also perform aquatic safety audits and serve as experts in legal cases involving aquatic safety. Finally, the Life Saving Society is the Canadian governing body for life-saving sport, a sport recognized by the International Olympic Committee and Commonwealth Games Federation. We use life-saving sport to engage and inspire youth in our drowning prevention mission. Age group, senior, and masters athletes compete regionally, nationally, and internationally. We also offer certification programs for officials and coaches. The Society is a national federation made up of 10 regional branches and 1 national branch. The national branch, located in Ottawa, provides administrative and technical support and oversees the day-to-day operations of the National Society. There is one regional branch per province. The territories are also represented. Each branch represents the society with all provincial and territorial organizations, the society's provincial and territorial affiliates, individual members, and the general public. Each branch also serves as the official liaison with the provincial and territorial governments and their agencies. Every branch provides the Society's programs, products, and services to the general public and to Life Saving Society members throughout its geographical area. The Society is guided by our mission, vision, and motto. Take note, as these have been revised over the past few years. The Life Saving Society's values also guide what we do. Our values are that we are a drowning prevention and life-saving organization, and humanitarian principles are our basis. Volunteers lead and support our organization. We operate with fairness, respect, inclusiveness, trust, and integrity, and we are a collaborative, innovative, and sustainable organization. You'll need to be familiar with these values as they are one of the pre-course learning assignments that you can find on the toolkit. Your question asks you to read these statements and decide which Life Saving Society values are represented through them. There's more information about this question on the course page. Don't forget, you can also come back and watch this video afterwards in case you missed some information or need to review some aspects of this presentation. That concludes the review of information on the Life Saving Society. We're very happy to welcome you to the team of lifeguarding experts. Once again, we'll take a short pause just to be sure that everything's working, and in a few moments we'll be back with one last presentation before we discuss some logistics surrounding the course. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to tweet us at LifesavingMB using the hashtag LSNLI15. Talk to you soon. Welcome back. One last presentation from me, and then I'll turn it back over to the K team, Kevin and Kathy. This presentation is about helping candidates learn and builds on what you already know about effective instruction. You'll learn in this presentation about how you can help your candidates learn successfully and effectively. We'll talk about how to create a positive learning environment, aspects of critical and creative thinking, how to use intrinsic and extrinsic factors to motivate your candidates, and how to effectively structure a presentation. First, a positive learning environment is made up of physical, cognitive, and social emotional factors. Think about a course you have taken, either at the pool, at school, or in university. If you were required to sit all day with very few breaks, you were likely physically uncomfortable. If the course content was too complicated for what you already know, you experienced some cognitive discomfort. If no one made an effort to be friendly and talk to one another, including the course conductor, your social emotional experience was affected. These three factors are major and will directly affect how a candidate perceives your course. As an instructor, it's important to be aware of all three of them when you're facilitating learning for your candidates. One way to manage the social emotional aspect of your course is to consider the stages of group development. Most groups pass through these stages as they go through a course. Let's look at each one in detail. Forming is the first stage, where the group starts to come together. Candidates are cautious, guarded, and wondering, and tend to depend on you as the leader for direction. They're looking for low-risk ways to interact with the group. Candidates are watching to see what is expected of the group and what's acceptable behavior. They usually avoid conflict and are very polite as they try to fit in. The next stage is storming. The group has come together and work begins, but doesn't result in many productive outcomes. Some people begin to take control of a group, while the rest of the group may divide over issues. Conflict is common at this stage. Think of a national lifeguard course you have attended or seen before. A group that is still storming is likely blaming one another for mistakes in lifeguarding situations, while another person is trying to do everything, including others' tasks, during situations. The next stage is norming. The group has begun to understand one another and is working together. Conflict shifts from being about other people to the actual issues at hand. Communication has improved and a sense of belonging has developed. The group, therefore, is less reliant on you as the leader as they're making progress, which motivates them to produce good results. Following that is performing. The group works well together, looking out for one another's interests. Collaborative efforts lead to high productivity. There may still be conflict, but it's productive and leads to better problem solving and decision making. The final stage is adjourning. This is when the group has accomplished its task and no longer needs to meet. In Life-Saving Society courses, this is usually the end of the course. It is a social time, and you may see your candidates taking group photos, sharing contact information, and celebrating together. One of our trainers, Lloyd, often would go out for dinner with his candidates after to celebrate their success. Your role at this stage is to help candidates accept that the course has now ended and explore other opportunities for training. Think too about the physical and cognitive aspects of a learning environment. What can you do to make sure your candidates are comfortable in those areas? Think about that and be sure to share your ideas either through our Twitter account or at the actual course. Let's move on to the next section, which is motivation. What motivates you to do something? You're motivated because of either an intrinsic or extrinsic factor. In some cases, you may be motivated because of both intrinsic and extrinsic factors. Not easy words to say, but important ones to know. Intrinsic motivation refers to an internal self-desire to learn and try new things. You're learning and doing new things simply because you like to do that. It gives you personal satisfaction. In contrast is extrinsic motivation, which is where you do something in order to attain a desired outcome. The motivating factors are external, from outside of you. Quite often, money or rewards are extrinsic motivators. For example, perhaps you initially took your NL course because you heard that lifeguards make a lot of money. This is an intrinsic factor. After lifeguarding for a period of time, you come to realize that you genuinely enjoy facilitating fun and safe aquatics. In that case, your initial extrinsic motivation has turned into something intrinsically motivating. As a national lifeguard instructor, you need to be aware of how you can use these factors to motivate your candidates. It's easy to motivate with extrinsic motivation. You can brag and boast about all the great things that will happen by being a lifeguard, like money and perhaps a good-looking physique. Using only extrinsic motivators, however, actually leads to a reduction in long-term interest in something. But here are some examples of how to use intrinsic motivators in your course. The first is challenge, which is working towards personally meaningful goals at an intermediate level of difficulty. Curiosity is another factor. There's something in the physical environment that attracts attention, or there's optimal discrepancy between what a candidate already knows and what they could know if they're engaged in an activity. Another factor is control. People like to have control over what happens to them. Emphasizing cause and effect relationships between what candidates are doing and what happens in real life will allow those candidates to make the choices they need and feel as though they're in control. Fantasy is another aspect. Learners can use mental images of things and situations that are not actually present to stimulate their behavior. For example, imagine using the skills in a real-life situation. Make a game out of the learning. Competition is when candidates compare their performance to others. It can occur naturally as well as artificially. Sometimes, however, it reduces the urge to be helpful to other learners, and to some candidates it's more important than to others. Cooperation is the next one, which is where someone receives satisfaction in helping others achieve their goals. It develops interpersonal skills, and cooperation is a skill that everyone needs. Finally, there's recognition. This is different than competition because your performance isn't compared to anyone else's. Recognition can be done easily by giving your candidates regular feedback to help them know what they're doing and how they can improve. So, what are some of the ways you'll use these factors in your courses? How will you intrinsically motivate candidates? How will you extrinsically motivate them? Please bring some examples to the face-to-face portion of this course. The third section of this presentation involves critical and creative thinking. An example of critical thinking could be evaluating whether or not a rescue was done successfully. It's thinking reflectively and evaluating evidence. Keep in mind your National Lifeguard candidates have copies of the award guide. A beneficial exercise would be going through it with them so they can see exactly how they're evaluated in relation to whatever situation they performed. Creative thinking refers to solving problems in new ways. For example, a really easy not really easy, but a good situation at the start of the course is a suspected hip fracture. Candidates need to critically think and creatively think as well about how to remove that patient from the pool. Creative thinking will eventually lead them, perhaps, to discovering that a spine board could be used as a splint for a suspected hip fracture. Knowing these two definitions, you can possibly think of other ways to use each in a National Lifeguard course. Think of a few more examples of how you can incorporate these activities into a course. We encourage you to incorporate this into your assignments. The last section of this presentation is about how to structure a presentation. Hopefully, I was able to go through each of these steps with you during this presentation itself. Candidates learn effectively when they are initially provided with a clear plan or agenda. This allows them to check in and see where they're at. How much longer is left? Where exactly are they going? Activating prior knowledge is always a successful strategy to use when teaching. Using a hook or mindset activity where you have candidates think about what you're about to present is useful to get them to consider what they already know. While presenting, it's important to consider the 4 factors listed on the screen in purple: an appropriate time allocation, time for questions or clarification, logical progressions, and a variety of activities. Use those 4 criteria when structuring your own presentations, and you'll find that your candidates remain engaged and excited to learn about what you're teaching. Finally, all presentations should have some sort of closure or a review at the end, so candidates have one last shot at synthesizing the information you presented to them. This is the end of this presentation about how to help candidates learn. You looked at how to structure a presentation, intrinsic and extrinsic motivation, critical and creative thinking, as well as how to create a positive learning environment. We'll take another 1-minute break to make sure everything's running spick and span, and we'll be back after that.
Awesome. Well, welcome back, everybody. So Kathy and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about some of the expectations that we have for the NLS Instructor course. So I'll get the ball rolling and start off and say, first and foremost, we expect you to go through your pre-course materials and assignments. So as John mentioned earlier, some of that information is on the website and that sort of thing. And if you have any questions about it as you go through that in preparation for the course, email Kathy or myself that kind of those questions, and we can address them with you. Kathy, you have anything you want to add on that?
No, just to make sure that if you have any questions, to email them before the course so that you're prepared to present those assignments as they come due during the course. We expect, that's one of our expectations, that just like you would become prepared to teach your National Lifeguard candidates and do all of the pre-course work for that you're going to do all of the pre-course work that you need to do to come in to learn and to have an effective learning experience in the course. So make sure that you clearly understand what needs to be done and you get that all taken care of and you're ready to just go when you come in on the course.
Yeah, that sounds great, Kathy.
Yeah.
So let's also talk about some of the maybe obvious or less than obvious things about the NLS Instructor course. So the expectation is that you're going to be teaching candidates, and
Right.
that as candidates in the NLS Instructor course, you'll have to play those candidates too.
Exactly.
So come with a sense of adventure and creativity when it comes to being candidates and that sort of a thing. Also, if you haven't figured this out already, this course takes place in the pool. So be ready to get wet, be ready to be physical throughout the course, as well as the academic stuff that we're going to be doing. There will be lectures and those sorts of things and note-taking pieces of the puzzle. Any advice you want to add on that one, Kathy?
Come with an open mind and be prepared to learn. We'll be showing you lots of new skills that you may or may not have ever learned in your original National Lifeguard courses, for you to turn around and to be able to go back into when you teach your own NL courses to teach your candidates. Some of these are skills that maybe for whatever reason you couldn't have learned in your facility when you took your National Lifeguard course, and other skills we'll be showing you are new skills that have been developed in the last couple 3 years, so it's exciting to share that information with you. So come prepared with an open mind and ready to learn and to be just full of questions to ask. There's no such thing as a bad question unless it's a question that you did not ask us.
Yeah, okay, so again, the course is being held at the North End Centennial.
No, it's at the Rady Center this
Oh,
time,
see,
Kevin.
It's
Wrong
a
pool.
good thing I checked. So, all right, so we'll be at the Rady Center, and the course starts on Saturday morning at 9 o'clock, I believe.
Yes, at 9 a.m. at the Rady Center. The street address is 123 Doncaster. When you go into the front desk security area, we will try to make sure that there's somebody there to direct you up. But if not, if you just ask those wonderful security people, they'll know exactly which room we'll be in, and we'll be in the classroom for the first part for the morning session. Okay?
And remember that the Jewish Community Center has some services that are closed on Saturdays to respect the day of Sabbath, and so food access will be limited, and cash monies will be limited, interactions will be limited as well. So be prepared for that sort of thing. We'll be taking lunch breaks throughout the course and get everybody a chance to get somewhere where they can eat over our lunch break kind of a thing. So.
And just on that note, that's an important thing to remember, that the Rady Center is a kosher facility, and as a result, requests that there is no food or drink brought past the front security desk that has not been bought on facility, so that they can abide by their practices and customs. So please, everybody, remember that and be respectful of that, because they are awesome hosts and they are strong supporters of the Life Saving Society, its mission, vision, and values. So let's be respectful back to that.
Yeah, I want to be respectful of our affiliates for
Yeah.
sure. All right, I just want to quickly ask our technical assistant here, John, do we have the Twitter feeds up right now on our video? Okay, so have the questions gone up? So I know we have there's one or two questions that have come up on the feed. So I believe one of the questions was, why did the mission, vision, and values change? So just to answer that question really quickly, essentially the organization goes through a process of renewal on an ongoing basis. And the current board of directors nationally had looked at revising or revitalizing, maybe a better word for it, the mission, vision, and values. So that was something that has just been done in the last little while. So it's always good to be part of an organization, I think, that is looking forward and being progressive and adapting as the times change, as they were.
Yeah, that's right. Just embracing what Canada now is in the 21st century, and making sure that what we are as a society reflects that.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, so we're going to cut to a pause. We have another question that came in. Okay, great. One more question. So, when looking at the assignments, I realized that my alert manual was out of date. Where will I be able to get a new one? Kathy?
You can come to the office anytime between 8:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and 8:30 a.m. and 12 noon on Fridays, and I will be more than happy to sell you one. They're approximately $35.
Yeah, there you go. So, and of course, you can that could be processed over the phone too.
Over the phone?
But you'll need it before the course.
Exactly.
So.
You'll need your alert manual to do some of your course assignments. So while I can bring it to the course, you probably should come down and get it, or get somebody to come down and get one for you.
Excellent. All right. Anything else we want to talk about real quickly here?
I think that probably covers it, unless I'm forgetting something. John, am I forgetting anything? John says no.
John
He's
says
had
no.
enough talking, so he's just wagging his head in the background there.
Okay, so give us 2 seconds. We'll go to a pause for a minute here and reconvene and do a goodbye if there's nothing else. We just want to make sure we've covered everything for you guys. So hold tight for a second there. All right, so we just took a look over everything, and we did note that some people are having some challenges connecting to the feed tonight, but I think we managed to work everything out. John's been really great at responding to tweets that everybody has brought in, and for your information, if you missed this or you want to review any part of it, it will be loaded up to YouTube shortly after we finish the live stream. As well, we will put a link back in the toolkit for you, so it's another easy way to find it. But best practice, get out there and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you'll have access to any of the videos that we post on the site there. So I think without any other questions that have come through, we're going to call it a night tonight. Thank you very much for participating in the Life Saving Society Manitoba Branch's inaugural live streaming YouTube event. We look forward to doing this more and more. If you have feedback for us, we'd love to hear it. Just tweet us at LifesavingMB, and again, use the hashtag so we can sort it to this course or this event, and that hashtag again is LSNLI15. Thank you very much, everybody, and stay safe, and whomsoever you see in need, recognizing them a fellow being.